Hey guys, in this video I'm talking about ADHD and stimming. This is something quite odd that I feel a lot of people miss out and don't even think about. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie world. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos all about this stuff. So if you're new around here and you want to learn more about those things, make sure to hit the subscribe button by clicking on the notification bell down below. What is going on? Welcome back. This is an interesting video. One of the things about ADHD versus autism, there's always like little bits that maybe an autistic person does, but the ADHD person doesn't, right? But when you have autism and ADHD, you notice things that ADHD does that autism also does. And that is quite profound. So I'm going to break down a little bit about what stimming is and talk about everything to do with that and then why it relates to ADHD. But before I do, I just want to say thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Brillia. Brillia is a non-addictive, non-prescription medication, which is homeopathic, which is perfect for things like enhancing clarity, improving concentration, and reducing things like irritability, restlessness, impulsivity, and all the kind of stuff that typically comes with ADHD. Now, the cool thing about Brillia is that it is also made for children and adults, so you can get one for children or one for adults, and it's just these little tiny tabs that you pop out, put one under your tongue, and it dissolves. It's tasteless. It's really interesting, but I swear by this stuff, and I love it. I would never recommend anything that I don't take myself. Now, if you are going to try Brillia, make sure to consult with your doctor first. It does take about 2 or 3 weeks for it to kind of really build up in your system, so you get that kind of proper feedback from it. So I would highly recommend checking out Brillia if your doctor okays it. Now, you can check out Brillia with the link in the description down below and get 15% off using the code ASPIE15, and I highly recommend you do that right now. And also go check them out on social media. They're a really nice company. So what is stimming? Let's just break down stimming. So stimming is short for self-stimulatory behaviour. Now, what this actually means is that it's a repetitive kind of a loop behaviour that somebody does. Now, stimming is characterised in many different ways. It could be somebody, putting their hands in front of their face. It could be somebody flapping their hands. It could be somebody using like a pen or a toothbrush to stim in front of their eye. Now, stimming comes in all sorts of ways. You could rock backwards and forwards stimming. You could, suckle your fingers. You could suck your fingers on your leg. You could flick your fingers. There's a whole host of these things. And what happens is that these self-stimulatory regulating behaviors happen for a simple reason. Now, the reason that they happen is because when a person on the autism spectrum or neurodivergent is nervous or excited, they want something that will be repetitive or a repetition that will calm them down or make them feel more soothed, right? Which is what self-stimulatory behavior does, which is stimming. So you could have a same response stimming to something that excites you to something that makes you nervous or anxious. So this is why you'll see autistic individuals stim, flap their hands when they're excited and also when they're nervous. Now, this is really interesting. Now, stimming comes comorbidly as part of an autism spectrum diagnosis. It's something that is just apparent. People will stim with all kinds of things. You can even have verbal stims. You can have repetitive verbal stims. So they could be noises that you say or make. It could be anything. It could be listening to a piece of music, but writing that one part and keep just listening to that one part of the music, right? So stimming on a whole is an autistic behavior or a spectrum behavior, which really engulfs the person. And I haven't met an autistic person who doesn't stim. Now, there are other people who will try and get that kind of energy out because, again, it's caused by irregular emotional regulation, or you cannot regulate your emotions. And if you can't regulate your emotions, you need to get that kind of energy out some way, because emotion is energy in motion. So you have energy, you have to put it into motion. And for autistic individuals or neurodivergent individuals, that motion is stimming. Now, there are people who will go to dance class or gymnastics or do kind of certain types of maybe aerobic respiration. There may be people who do some aerobic workout that would help them with things like, lowering the amount of stims they have because they get that kind of energy out. But it doesn't help when you are faced with situations of emotional high deregularity, like anxiety, nervousness, excitement, extreme happy, euphoric moments. This happens. Now, because this is very apparent in autistic kids, a lot of the time it's missed that this happens actually in people with ADHD. Now, you'll see ADHD people have irritable leg syndrome or restless leg syndrome. And, this is basically they shake their leg up and down, but they are not doing this because they can't sit still. They're doing this because this is a soothing motion, a self-stimulatory behavior. So it's the same way in which an autistic person will understand stimming and use stimming in that way. But the difference is they're doing it to self-soothe within that moment, to almost try and help them concentrate. Kind of like, if you're chewing gum and you can help yourself concentrate, or if you're sucking on a mint or something, you can concentrate a little bit better because you're occupied. Or people do this thing where they twiddle their thumbs, and that's kind of a form of stimming, right? Now, there are many ways that ADHD people like to stim. They will have stim toys, which will keep their hands occupied, which means that they can focus their brain. Now, one of the ways I used to teach this is to create stimming activities when doing work. During the pandemic, I coached a lot of parents into having a small, the cycle wheel thing that goes under your desk so you can pedal a bike but actually not go anywhere, so that you could do distance learning for the children who had ADHD whilst actually trying to focus. You can pedal the bike under the desk. And that worked really, really well. Now, people forget stimming happens in ADHD, and it happens because ADHDers also have emotional deregulation, or they are unable to regulate their emotions. It's because neurodivergent brain types have this impact on a person's way to regulate, or their ability or lack thereof to regulate their emotions. And that's why they may be extremely happy and extremely sad sometimes. There's never like a median in the middle. There's always like a up or down. And when they have these extreme ups or extreme downs, you will see them try to cling on to things that will give them some soothing type of self-stimulatory behavior, or some kind of soothing, like they'll rock backwards and forwards, or pace up and down, or they'll their leg will be going, or they'll be twitching with their fingers. So this is stimming, and it's not something that should be frowned upon. I think stimming should be something that we embrace and we understand, and we say, well, the individual's obviously getting something out of it, and it's how it is. And so stimming is something that we should encourage. Now, are you an autistic person, or are you an ADHD person? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. Now, if you think this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. I really think that you'd like the next video that I'm recommending here, so please check that out and let me know. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.